Welcome back to The Wisdom Within. I'm Lara, Jaye, and today we're going to be talking about something I think many people are experiencing without fully even realizing it. Your life may have actually changed, but your body could still be responding as if you're in survival mode. And until people understand this, they often become really hard on themselves. And be sure and stay tuned until the last couple minutes for a light language clearing. You might be thinking to yourself, why can't I relax? Why do I always feel on edge? Or why do I overthink everything? Why do I feel exhausted even when I'm resting? Or why can't I just enjoy my life? Many times the issue isn't a lack of gratitude, discipline, or self-awareness. The issue is the nervous system learned to operate inside this prolonged stress, and it never fully learned how to come out of it. One of the things I see all the time in my private work is people assuming that because the stressful situation is over, they should automatically feel better. They'll say things like, the divorce was 3 years ago. My kids are grown now. I finally left that toxic job. My finances are stable. The crisis is over. And yet their body still feels tense. They're probably still waking up in 3 a.m, anticipating, scanning, waiting for something to go wrong. And then they start judging themselves. What's wrong with me? Why can't I move on? Why am I still carrying this? Healing doesn't happen because the calendar says enough time has passed. The nervous system doesn't heal through logic alone. The body heals through experience, through embodied experience. And if the body spent years learning that life was unpredictable, emotionally unsafe, overwhelming, or exhausting, it's going to take some time before it fully trusts that things are different now. And that's not failure, that is physiology. One of the most important things people can understand is this: the body responds to patterns, not just logic. So even when life becomes safer, calmer, or more stable externally, the nervous system may still be anticipating pressure internally, because survival mode is not just about major trauma. It could be years of carrying too much responsibility or suppressing your emotions, years of unpredictability, overfunctioning, feeling emotionally unsupported, years of needing to stay always turned on and never fully exhaling. And eventually the body starts assuming this is normal, this is life, this is who I have to be to stay safe. I think this confuses people because survival mode doesn't always look chaotic. Sometimes it looks very highly successful, productive, responsible, and capable. Some of the most praised people are actually deeply dysregulated internally. I remember working with this one client who on paper had everything: successful business, beautiful home, great marriage, financial security, the kind of life many people spend decades trying to create. And the first thing she said during our session was, I don't understand why I cannot relax. She wasn't incredible, yet she felt anxious if she wasn't being productive and guilty sitting still. She felt responsible for everyone around her. And what became clear was that her nervous system had learned very early in life that being useful created safety. Being responsible created the safety for her. Being needed created safety. So even though her adult life no longer required this level of vigilance, her body was still running the exact same program, the same patterns, as I mentioned. I think many listeners will recognize themselves in that. Because survival mode isn't always dramatic. Sometimes survival mode looks like being the strongest person in the room, the most reliable, the person everyone depends on, and after years of carrying that role, the body forgets how to put it down. Survival mode can create very high performers, people who anticipate everything, manage, carry, fix, people who became exceptional at functioning because somewhere along the way functioning felt necessary for safety, for approval, control, and stability. And again, this often works externally until the body eventually starts pushing back through exhaustion, through insomnia, anxiety, emotional numbness, brain fog, chronic tension, difficulty relaxing, loss of joy. You might be feeling disconnected from life, not because you're weak, but because the system was never designed to sustain this constant hypervigilance indefinitely. One of the strangest parts of healing survival mode is the rest that initially can feel unsafe. Being quiet can feel very uncomfortable. Stillness can feel very unfamiliar, and many people don't understand why. And this is why. It's because the nervous system has adapted to constant stimulation, urgency, pressure, and go, go, go. Slowing down actually can temporarily create anxiety. And not because resting is wrong, but because the body is no longer distracted from what it's been carrying. This is why some people suddenly feel emotional on vacation. I see this happen constantly. Someone finally takes time off, the schedule opens up, the pressure decreases, and they feel exhausted, emotional, unmotivated, possibly even mildly depressed. They assume something's wrong. What did I do wrong? But often what's happening is the exact opposite. The body is finally receiving enough safety to process what it never had time to process before. It's similar to what happens after people leave survival seasons, such as caring for a sick parent, ending a difficult relationship, years of building a business or raising kids. The body finally stops running, and all the emotions that were waiting patiently in the background start tapping on the shoulder saying, okay, are we ready now to deal with this? And that can feel incredibly vulnerable because many people have spent decades identifying with being strong and shoving these emotions down. They're the ones who keep moving, not the one who feels, not the one who rests, and certainly not the one who receives support. Which is why healing often feels less like becoming someone new and more like remembering parts of yourself you left behind while trying to survive, or exhausted after finally leaving a stressful season. The body's finally realizing we are no longer just surviving, and sometimes there's a delayed emotional response to that realization. The mind can understand safety long before the body feels it. You can logically know, I'm okay now. But your body may still brace for disappointment. It might brace for conflict or pressure, even abandonment, or for the next thing to go wrong. And this becomes exhausting. Many people are physically living in the present while their nervous system is still emotionally responding to the past, still scanning, anticipating, gripping, and over time people stop recognizing how much energy that constant internal vigilance requires. This is why nervous system healing matters so much, because healing is not only changing thoughts, it's teaching the body a new experience of life, an experience where resting is allowed, support is safe, stillness is not dangerous. Peace does not mean something bad is about to happen, and your worth is not dependent on constant productivity or emotional labor. And this can take time because the body learns through repetition, not force, perfection, repetition. Small moments of safety and being present, and where the body realizes, I don't have to grip this tightly anymore. That's how recalibration happens. That's how embodiment happens. And this is also why grounded spirituality matters, because true spirituality should not disconnect people from their body. it should reconnect them to it, reconnect them to presence, to emotional truth, to their intuition, to regulation, to an actual lived experience, not bypassing reality and not floating above life, but becoming safe enough internally to actually inhabit your life fully. And for many, that may be one of the deepest forms of healing that there is. I can tell you from my own life that there have been seasons where I thought I needed more motivation, more strategy, more discipline. What I actually needed was regulation. I needed my body to feel safe enough to stop pushing. So if you've been feeling exhausted, emotionally reactive, unable to fully relax, constantly anticipating, or struggling to understand why your body feels tense, even when life looks fine, I want you to consider this. Your body may still believe it needs to survive a reality you've already outgrown. And if that's true, the answer is probably not more pressure. It may be more regulation, more honesty, more space in your life, more safety, not overnight, but very slowly, gently, and especially repeatedly. Because eventually the body can learn a different rhythm, one that's no longer built around survival. And if this episode resonated with you, you can explore my private intensive mentorship or monthly soul sanctuary gatherings on the 4th Wednesday of every month. Check out the links in the show notes. And right now we're going to move into today's energetic clearing. We're supporting your nervous system regulation, softening the survival-based gripping, and increasing the body's sense of internal safety. We're also setting the intention to release chronic anticipation, to release hypervigilance, and to allow the body to begin experiencing the present moment without bracing for impact. I invite you to tune into your body for a moment, one hand on your heart, one hand on your stomach, and just begin to breathe deeply and notice that. Notice how your body feels. No judging, we're just checking in with our body. How does it feel right now? What does it need? Telonde de diotare celebrabriondo, carete di calabrevendo, rele baba, calieti di celebrabriendo, condo de di click di ambo, co calabioto de calabiatarianda da yon, corianderiato, ara, cariatayama, coriandedi click di and di click di anga. Kona yenga korieti jele blabonianda. Zabonde de dia de inda de click the end of the inda de yodo click the yondo cariando coriende de angala yada de yaka coriende de click the end of the do click liambo coriende de shele blabonion coriende de Coriandia de the end of the Colicada Bilocodaman, Zibonde de Diata de Diata, Coriante de Piotore la Paronda, Ateng o de Aladianda, Kyoto de Sebleco. Cando della Palabrianda di Colecarianda Kyoto.